Hey everybody, you're listening to my podcast Suchitra's Life with me, Suchitra. In today's episode, I'll be talking about this beautiful book that I read. It's called Cracking the Code, written by Ayushmann Khurrana with his wife Tahira Khurrana. This book chronicles Ayushmann's journey into Bollywood. Well, I got to know a lot about Ayushmann Khurrana. I really like his work. He is somebody who always reinvents himself, and also he adventured into music. He's always done that, and I like his songs as well, his singing and everything. And this book talks about his journey, and I think he has done a fab job in putting reality out there. So when I picked up this book, I thought, okay, this is gonna be another book wherein people gonna say never ever give up. But in fact, Ayushmann actually asks people to know when they need to give up, which is very important, by the way. So Ayushmann had actually got a little bit of fame at first from a show called Pop Stars, wherein he participated as a singer back then. And then he had gone into roadies, and then he was an RJ. Again, another medium was a VJ. So he was a VJ for MTV and then other shows on television, India's Got Talent. So this has been an interesting journey, like from one medium to another. He kept proving himself, and this book is, in a way, gives a reality check. He's not painting anything other than what had happened to him in reality. So this book has got like some 15 quotes that he talks about. Like after each and every chapter, he kind of gives a little code as to what he had learned, and also here and there he kind of gives some pointers. So there were some notes to self. So one of the notes was, the gates to learning open only when the route to self-obsession is blocked. Another note said, know yourself, respect yourself, prepare yourself, make your weakness your strength, and supplement your strength with an equal dose of humility. I really loved the quotes actually. Quote 1 said, it's essential to value relationships, especially with those who will always be in love with the real, imperfect, juvenile you. Trust me, you wouldn't find many such genuine folk. And the reason I say that this is commitment to self, because these are the only people who will time and again make you meet your real self. And being real is the only key to happiness and success. That's quote number 1 for you. The second quote said, recognizing the path life has charted out for you and doing that within a stipulated time frame. He says that he has seen many lives go waste, and it is extremely heartbreaking to see young people wander aimlessly while remaining irrationally hopeful. And he says that the code lies in being pragmatic along with being emotionally idealistic. The third code says never let go of an opportunity. The fourth code says that being receptive to what life has to offer is always the key. It could be a tragedy, an embarrassing situation, a hilarious one, a sad one, or an elating one. There is something to understand and take away from every experience. The fifth quote says, never let go of an opportunity. I know he's repeating it, but I think that's how in his life he kept on taking up opportunities only to prove himself. Code number 6, there's no point in being one of many, no pointing in running towards fame, no point in doing PR, no point in being ordinary. You have to rise above the rest in your given circumstances. Only then will people take notice of you. I ran around and after, I'm confessing that I did, he says. This quote can perhaps save you from the embarrassing moments that he went through. Hold your ground, let your talent, your work speak for you. There is not a chance you will be missed if you strive for excellence. Quote number 7 says, there are no permanent friends or permanent foes, only permanent interests. Code 8, give your best to whatever opportunity you get. Never underestimate the significance of even the smallest of junctures. Your past action will one day become your future redemption. Code number 9. Aspire for the next thing when you think you deserve it. Once you have proved yourself worthy of the current situation and have become big for it, only then try outgrowing it by venturing to the next level. It's part of a progressive growth ladder and also a predecessor to a success story. Code 10. Critiques are your best friends. They bring out the best in you. Never shun them, criticize, or run them down. They have an opinion because of some reason. That reason will eventually be the reason for your growth. Code 11. Sometimes you have to make a choice that you may not be comfortable with initially. You have to make a conscious effort to push yourself to avoid becoming stagnant. I could have easily chosen India's Got Talent Season 3, which he had anchored earlier, as it was completely in his comfort zone. It was home to me, but it was time to move ahead. So that's when he realized that he was getting into his comfort zone, so he chose something else. Code 12. It may be an overused and abused maxim, but it becomes life-altering if paid heed to. Wisdom lies in learning from others' experiences. He says it is true, and he just asks people to be more than just a reality show contestant or winner. Code 13. Sometimes you don't get an opportunity as there is a better one waiting for you. This might sound bookish and idealistic, but he says that if I Hate Love Stories or Teen The Bhai, the two movies that he had got the scripts for, and those two films didn't happen, Wiki Donor would have never happened, and this code wouldn't have been typed out. Code 14. He says that if he had waited for the script of Nautanki Sala to be written before signing it, perhaps he could have avoided the misstep, because the movie wasn't, he felt that it wasn't executed well. He says patience and wisdom is something that even the patient and wise strive for. That's a pretty good one. Code 15, the final one, he says, of all the codes that one cracks, the emotional code is the most important one. You could be the richest or the most powerful human being in the world, but if you are not at peace with your emotional side, everything else is worthless. he says he's not even talking about how you feel for your spouse or your partner. He says even if you are single and are at peace with your inner demons, you are mostly sorted. So those were the 15 quotes, and finally he does say that a secret to cracking the code is to make your own code. One man's medicine is another man's poison. So at a holistic level, the code remains the same. Be truthful to yourself. You can lie to the entire world, but at the end of the day, it is just you and the person in the mirror. It is just your eyes staring at the roof, keeping it a vast nothingness moments before you fall asleep. If you ensure or even try to ensure that in that dark moment you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, you have cracked the code. Congratulations. And that's how he ends the book. I think this book is quite pragmatic, because he does, like I said earlier, he does give a reality check. It's not easy, but you gotta grab the opportunities that are out there and prove yourself in them, and then let your work speak. Thanks a lot, Ayushmann. Thanks for this short and sweet book, and I hope all the aspiring artists would read this. And I said artists, not just actors. You might think this book would only be applicable to actors, but it's applicable to all the artists out there who are trying to create something interesting. Until next time, take care. I hope you guys pick this book.